The Supreme Divine Personality, Bhagavan, is all-powerful, all-pervading, omniscient, the possessor of Yoga Maya, and so on. Amongst his various dimensions are his formless, all-pervading aspect, the Brahman, and his personal form as Bhagavan. We need to choose whom to make as our Ishtadev. What is the difference between these two? The journey of the four Kumars from Brahmanand to Premanand is very inspirational as well as instructive. These four Kumars are the first born in creation after Brahma. They are the mental children of Brahma, Manas Putra. He created them from his mind and gave them the instruction to further procreate and fill up the universe. The four Kumars, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanat and Sanandan, however, chose to remain in the childhood form and refused to grow up. Internally, they were enlightened, and they felt that once grown, they would be vulnerable to Maya. Their mind would remain ever absorbed in the formless Brahman aspect of the Supreme Divine Personality. However, one day, an event took place. These four Kumars went to Vaikuntha, the abode of the personal form of the Lord. And there, what happened? The Bhagavatam states, Tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjalka mishra tulasi makaranda vayuhu antargatasva vivarena chakara tesham sanshobhamakshara jupsham api chitta tanvo. The aroma of the tulsi leaves that was placed at the feet of Narayan entered the nostrils of the four Kumars and gave them such an amazing divine thrill that their samadhi on the formless Brahman no longer remained. They started contemplating, if the joy of the aroma of the tulsi at God's feet is so tremendous, what will be the anand of the darshan of his form? And what about the nectar from his pastimes, his leelas and his divine love? So they prayed to the Lord, O Narayan, we are willing to reside in Narak or hell on the condition that our mind remains like a bee ever drinking the nectar from your lotus feet. Look at these supreme amongst the Jnanis of Satyug. They were relishing Brahmanand and yet eager for savoring Premanand. What is the difference between these two? Well, the Supreme Divine Personality, Bhagavan, is all-powerful, all-pervading, omniscient, the possessor of Yoga Maya, Kartum, Akartum, Anyatha, Kartum, Samartha, and so on. Amongst his various dimensions are his Nirakar and Sakar aspects. His formless, all-pervading aspect, the Brahman, and his personal form as Bhagavan. The bliss of the formless is called Brahmanand, and that of the personal form is Premanand. Both of these are infinite in extent. They are both Sat, Chit and Anand. Yet we need to choose whom to make as our Ishtadev. So we must understand that even though they are both infinite, the Premanand is still incredibly sweeter than Brahmanand. Understand this through an example. One married lady called Hiral has been married since the last 10 years but doesn't have any children and is very disturbed about it. She goes to various temples and prays, goes to doctors for treatment, goes to Babas for boons. Finally, somehow or the other, a baby has come to her womb and she is so thrilled. Whenever she ponders, thinks, I'm going to become a mother. Arey, your child is not yet born. It's a matter of a few months now. For those 9 months, she undergoes so many travails. But she doesn't mind because the thrill of being a mother in future is ever before her. The baby is finally born. It is 1 day old. It is 4 days old. 1 year old. 2 years old. The baby is in Hiral's lap. She fondles the baby, cuddles the baby, feeds the baby. You ask Hiral, Mother, the joy you are getting from your little infant, is it the same as when the baby was in your stomach? She says, what are you talking about? Was that any happiness? It was just a feeling that I've got a child. This is sheer delight. I can touch my baby, I can smell my baby, I can serve my baby and hear my baby's broken words. Likewise, those who worship the Lord in His formless aspect are doing fine. They relish Brahmanand, which is infinite in extent, but they are unable to see their Lord, to touch His lotus feet, to feed Him, to serve Him in a variety of ways. While those who worship the same Brahman in His personal divine form as Bhagavan experience the Saukumarya, Saashilya, Saurasya, Rup Madhuri, Murli Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, the innumerable sweet blisses of His personal aspect, and that is called Premanand. Brahmanando bhavedesha chet parardha guni krita naiti bhakti sukham bodhe paramanu tulamapi. It is said the Premanand is immensely sweeter than Brahmanand. Many on the spiritual path are unaware of this, and they believe that bhakti is only an intermediate sadhana. You will do it to purify your heart, but later on you'll reject the personal, and the highest realization of divine will be the formless. However, history bears testimony to the fact that the biggest jnanis who had become Jivan Mukt, Amalatma, Purnkam, Param Nishkam, Nirgranth, such superlative people of knowledge who were absorbed in the formless Brahman, when they got an experience of the divine love bliss of the personal form of God, they got immediately, spontaneously drawn towards it. Let me give you the example of Raja Janaka from the Art and Science of Happiness. Mother Sita is worshipped in the Hindu tradition as the mother of the universe. When she descended on the planet Earth, King Janaka had the honor of being her father. The father of the mother of the universe. He is also famous in history as Vide, which means one who has no perception of the body. Janaka was in such an elevated consciousness that with one hand in the fire and another hand on his queen, he could still keep his mind absorbed in Brahman. He was also a worshipper of the formless Brahman. In fact, he would consider all names and forms in the world as mithya, or illusory and unreal. One day, he received the news that the great sage Vishwamitra, accompanied by Ram and Lakshman, had come to Janakpur. Janak went to welcome them. But on seeing the divine form of Sri Ram, he was spontaneously immersed in loving devotion. The Ramayana describes the episode. Murati madhura manohar vekhi bhayav videha viseshi. Videhraj Janak became even more transcendental to the body. Inhi vilokata ati anuraga barbasa brahma sukhahi manatyaga. That Janak, who was relishing Brahmanand, rejected it and became extremely attached. Rag means attachment. Anurag means deep attachment. The Ramayana says, Ati Anuraga, he became so absorbed in the form of God and started thinking. Sahaja virag rupa mana mora thakita hot jimi chandra chakora. My mind is sahaj virakt. I do not need to remove it from the clinging towards sense objects and people. It is in a natural state of detachment. But thakit hot jimi chandra chakora. Like the chakor bird gets attracted towards the moon, I am just pulled towards the Roop Madhuri of Ram. He was in a conundrum. On one side, he realized he was completely detached. On the other, he was experiencing intense attachment to Sri Ram. And then he tried to resolve this puzzle. Brahma jo nigama neti kahi gava ubhaya roop dhari ki soyava. Is it that the same Brahman I used to worship as the formless has today come before me in his personal form? Which means Ram is the Ishtadev I was worshipping all along. Very rightly deduced. Ramam vidhi param brahma satchidananda madvayam. Ram is that supreme divine personality himself. So Raja Janak got immersed in Premanand, the divine love bliss of God. What is this Premanand which fascinated even Videhraj, even the father of Mother Sita? We shall discuss it in the next episode.